What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to cover my first impressions of Remembrance Trailblazer. It's a new path we are going to be getting for completely free for our Trailblazer. With Harmony MCs in the past, we know that these Trailblazers are actually very strong for the state of the game that we're currently in. So here are my first impressions and Theorycraft in regards to Remembrance Trailblazer, as well as some visual representation of how her gameplay looks, or its gameplay loop actually looks like. So if you enjoy this type of content, let me know by liking the video, leaving the comment section below, and consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, shout out to our channel members. Remember to follow your boy on twitch.tv/iSUMMON, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right, lately you guys have been finding it very helpful if I show you what the characters' kits look like, if I just show it to you like this. So essentially on the first turn, if Remembrance Trailblazer's summon or the memo sprite in this particular scenario is called mem or meme, if it is not on the field, the Remembrance Trailblazer's action is going to get advanced by 30%, essentially giving the Trailblazer a built-in Von Walk, a little bit stronger than actually the Von Walk, so you don't have to be as fast to go first on the action order. So essentially this character is always going to be, almost always going to be the first one that goes, because the priority of it is to summon meme or mem. I'm going to call it meme. Summon meme using her skill. So her basic does the regular basic attack to one enemy. The skill, if meme is not on the field, it's going to bring up meme up to the field. So now you did your skill back on the action order. At this point, meme is going to show up with its own energy charge. Essentially, it's not technically energy, but it's called charge, and it's kind of to launch meme's ultimate, which we're going to discuss a little bit later. But essentially, meme shows up with about 85% if it's your first turn in the fight. She shows up with about 85% charge, and the way you increase this charge all the way up to 100, so you're able to launch her quote-unquote ultimate, is by either gaining energy with your other allies or the team itself, or by launching actions from either ice type characters or by summons. And it doesn't specifically say summons, it also says allies that have 0 max energy, which summons generally have 0 max energy, and then characters like Acheron and characters like Fei Zhao also have 0 max energy. So whenever any of these characters take action, mem is going to gain a little bit of charge, and eventually is going to get to 100%. Now, what happens if you use Remembrance Trailblazer's skill and mem is on the field? What happens is that you're going to heal mem by 60% of mem's HP, and that's pretty much it. It's just a healing for the mem. Now we're going to finish talking about Remembrance Trailblazer because that's pretty much the extent of it. The only other thing that she has is the ultimate, and the ultimate essentially is going to Gigantamax or Gigamax or Supermax, Pokemon reference here, is going to Gigantamax or whatever you want to call it, meme, and then meme is going to slap everybody down and deal a little bit of damage, 240%, I think, if I remember correctly. And this is the extent of Remembrance Trailblazers itself, her kit. This is where it ends. The rest of the character's kit comes from meme. So meme, essentially, whenever she gets her turn and she doesn't have max energy or max charge, she's going to do kind of like a pseudo AoE attack here and then hit everybody for, I think the total multiplier is about 234 for my initial calculations. I think it's about 230, 234 multiplier here whenever she doesn't have her charge. Meme also has its own talent like any other ally on the team, and the talent for meme is that it's going to increase the team's crit damage by scaling off her own crit damage, which also scales off Remembrance Trailblazer's crit damage. So Remembrance Trailblazer's crit damage is distributed to the team at an amount, so kind of like how Bronya, Sparkle, and Sunday work. Pretty much they love that gimmick. I wish they would do something like that with, like, I don't know, something else other than crit damage, because it's getting a little bit old, but that's what they decided to do. So you're going to get a little bit of crit damage to everybody on the team, which is pretty nice. And then the talent also says that whenever meme takes action and it doesn't have the energy, it's going to do the AoE attack. And when it has 100 energy, it's going to immediately take action and use the quote-unquote special ability. Now, what is that special ability? It's pretty much Sunday's action advance and Bronya's action advance. Actually, not Sundays. It's actually Bronya's, because Sundays can advance Aglia and the memo sprite all in one, like together, but this one you have to choose which one to do. And then also the character that you choose to action advance is going to get the meme support or meme spirit or something like that, and that is going to enable that unit to deal some true damage. And this is something we haven't seen before in a traditional character sense. We have extra damage, we have additional damage, we have all that stuff, but we've never had a true damage. But essentially, once you choose the character that you want to action advance, let's say you want to action advance Aglia, you action advance Aglia, and then every instance of damage that Aglia does, it's going to trigger a true damage instance. Now, you may ask yourself, does the joint attack trigger the true damage? It does, but only on Aglia's damage. It doesn't trigger it on the memo spray damage, which is why in my initial Theorycraft, I am going to say to y'all, if you're going to use Remembrance Trailblazer with Aglia, just action advance the memo sprite, because the memo sprite is way faster, takes more actions, which means more true damage. And then once you do your quote unquote meme ultimate, you go back to 0 charge, and then you rinse and repeat the process. So for example, in a team like this, you are going to have Sunday's action advance. You're also going to have Remembrance Trailblazer's action advance as well. And you can use one to action advance Aglia, and then one to action advance the memo sprite, even though the memo sprite is way faster than anything else you have on the team. So it really doesn't need the action advance. You're not really using it for the action advance in this particular scenario. You're more using it for the true damage procs, because it is 68% when it's all said and done. When you have her, I think it's at E6, and you have all her traces unlocked, it is a total of 68% true damage. And 68 true damage, for those of you who don't know how to calculate that, which we're going to do a little bit of pseudo calculations when I get in the next section. But essentially, it's a 68% just extra damage just for free, essentially. Which is exactly why they only apply it to the character that you choose and not both. For example, if they were to apply it to both, that would have been way too good. That would have been way too broken. Maybe they still do it, but as of right now, you only can choose either the memo sprite or Aglia. And I think that's pretty balanced, because if not, it was going to be too good. It was going to be too insane. Now, given that meme also gets energy from memo sprite's actions, you are going to get a lot of charge just by running her with Aglia, because of the memo sprite speed going upwards of 300 and 400 speeds. Also Aglia doing extra hits on the memo sprite. Also Sunday action advancing it. Also Sunday, when he does his ultimate and he regains energy or recharges energy for Aglia, meme is also gaining extra energy or extra charge as well. So that action advance is going to trigger more often than not in a team like this. So just as a little bit of demonstration, let's say you start to fight this Remembrance Trailblazer gets action advance, summons meme via the skill, goes back into the action order. Let's say Aglia goes right here, boom, does her little skill. Remember, Aglia gets faster and stronger the more action she takes. After Aglia, the memo sprite is going to take action, hit all these three, slap him up a little bit. Then Sunday is going to action advance Aglia again. At this point, you're probably going to have, after you do Sunday's ultimate, you're going to have her ultimate. So you're going to be able to use the skill, use the basic attack, ultimate. Then after the ultimate, you're going to be able to action advance both, do the conjointed attack, boom, 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 get back online. And at this point, since you started with 85 charge, meme is going to have her ultimate already up. So you're going to action advance. Instead of action advancing Aglia, you're going to action advance the memo sprite, because the memo sprite hits more times than Aglia, and therefore is going to trigger true damage more than Aglia, even in her own skill. So even when you do the enhanced skill, the memo sprite and Aglia have the same amount of instances of damage in that particular instance of damage in that skill. So even then, it's also better to just have it on the summon. So you're going to action advance the summon, it's going to do its thing. Then Aglia is going to go again, do its thing with the conjointed attack. Then you're going to go back. Oh, crap. You're going to go back, and then this is going to take like 2 turns in a row. And all of these turns, all of these times that this summon is doing damage to everybody, you're triggering true damage. How much true damage exactly? So this is where we're going to go to the Excel spreadsheet. So we're here in my Aglia sheet. It's not finished yet. I know some of y'all have been asking me to post these in my Discord server, which I am going to. I haven't forgotten about y'all. I will post it, but I just want it to be perfect. I want it to be good. And I don't want them to change it halfway through me, like uploading it, and then it's all a mess. So I'm going to wait until it's all said and done, and then I'm going to release them. Here I drew up 2 damage tables, which we saw in my previous video. This is the Aglia damage table. This is the summon damage table. But if you notice, I added a true damage table here, and then I added the totals and also the totals with the true damage. If you didn't have any true damage, these would be every instance of damage you would deal, and then this is what the summon skill would do, which is every time the summon takes a turn on its own, this would be the damage that it does. Now with the true damage, look at this increase, massive increase in damage. It's really high. You're essentially going from dealing 59k on the single target to 99k on the single target, and then like, I don't know what, 79% on adjacent, which is really, really strong. You go from 47 to 79. It's really, really substantial amount of extra damage you're doing because of the true damage. Now, this is with the true damage set on the summon. You could do this on Aglia, but then the damage numbers are not going to be that high. Like if we swap these over, which I'm not going to do because I already like did all the math, and this is how it works out the best. This is how you're going to get the most damage. Just do the meme support on the summon, and then all the true damage is going to trigger in the summon. Essentially, you're going to increase your damage by a significant amount. It's actually very substantial. I think it is exactly 68% of the damage that you're going to be adding on top of it when it's all said and done, because this true damage doesn't go through the damage formula like every other damage does, because it already did. True damage takes the total damage after it goes through the entire damage formula and then chunks a portion. So it pretty much like takes a chunk of it and duplicates it. So it doesn't go through the damage formula again, which is why it's so strong. It's very, very strong. If you've seen gameplay of her and you see numbers approaching this, you know it's really close to it. And this doesn't even have relic sets. It doesn't have support light cones added onto it. It doesn't have anything extra than just Aglia's set, Aglia's light cone, and then maybe I think Sunday is in here too. But that's about it. That's all we have right there. And look at the numbers we're putting up. And then remember, this damage happens like 5 or 6 times every time Aglia ults. So it's just insane. Like it's just a lot of damage. This true damage mechanic is actually very, very strong. It's going to be comparable to, I don't know if it's going to be comparable to Super Break, but it's going to be close. It's going to be very, very close to Super Break because it's just free damage. Essentially, it's just free damage. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about Remembrance Trailblazer. Did I do a good job explaining her kit? Let me know what I could do better in my next video. And until next time, guys, see ya.